Good everybody, my name is Awesomecrunch and welcome back to Subnautica Experimental Now. This episode, we have a couple things. It's a bit of a jumble episode, if you will. There's a guy on YouTube. Oh, there's a rabbit. I thought that was a mermaid for some reason. Oh, whoa, they're coming to the surface. That's weird, I've never seen that before. Anyway, there's a guy on YouTube called Cyberlele2002, and he commented with some really interesting stuff. And this video is going to cover a couple of those things. So, apparently, this is only apparently, if you warp to these coordinates, which are minus 8,000, minus 862, minus 922, and 338, it should take you to the Lost River, where there is now all of this brine, and the ghost tree thing. I don't know the exact name of it, but look at that thing. So yeah, this is in the Lost River. So if you just spawn at these coordinates, it will take you to this place, which is the Lost River, in case you didn't realise that already, even though I've said it multiple times. This is the Brine. I think it's called Brine. It's not Brine, it's Brine, I think. It's like a salty compound, I think is Brine. I'm not really sure. It's like where you get hot dogs in. I think you get hot dogs in Brine. It's not normally this colour, and if it was, I'd immediately take it back and possibly set it on fire. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is the Ghost River tree. Lost River tree. I think there's an actual name for it, but I don't think it's quite been, like, finalised yet. But this is it. I mean, to me, that looks like a, like an embryo in there. Obviously, I don't think it can be, being as it's connected to a tree and not an actual human. But this is to a creature. But this is Subnautica, so I wouldn't put it past it, to be honest, to have a tree having an embryo and fetus and stuff, or that kind of thing. I wouldn't put it past the game at all, because it is Subnautica and it's based on on an alien planet with very bright green brine, and it's confirmed that this is not going to be what the brine is looking like. So if you're scared of this, which I am, because it's very green, this is not at all what it's going to look like. This is just a base texture, but they're definitely going to do some work on the texturing. But this plant looks really cool. It's been on Sketchfab for a while, actually. I think it's been on there for a couple months now, on Fox 3D Sketchfab, and it looks really damn cool. And I wonder how many of these are going to be in the Lost River, because it's a big tree, and I don't know whether it's supposed to be like the kind of main attraction, if you will, of the Lost River. I'm not really sure how they're going to work that, or whether it's actually meant to be really cool. I don't know how they're going to do that, but yeah, so that brine texture is definitely not final, so don't get that into your head at all. Don't get that into your head at all, it's definitely not final. So don't worry about that. I think this is going to be where the actual liquid is, but what that liquid is going to look like, I have absolutely no idea. But in case you're wondering, there are actually... Oh, we're at the ribcage, that's convenient. There are actually places underwater that scientists have found. There's a video on YouTube that I actually watched a couple months back, because I wasn't sure whether lost rivers can actually exist, and they're not so much lost rivers as they're not actually rivers. From what I gathered from it, I mean, this may not be 100% correct, so please correct me on this if I am wrong, which I would imagine I probably am. They're actually collections of, like, salt and other minerals that have fallen to the bottom of the ocean, and because they're on a slight slant, or they're in a current, they flow, effectively, which makes it look like a river, as you can imagine flowing things would. Hence the expression, river. Even though it's not actually water underwater, because that wouldn't make sense. The thing at the bottom of the ocean has to be heavier than the ocean itself. I can't see how that would work otherwise, because it would just float to the top otherwise, surely. I'm not a whale biologist, so I wouldn't know. If you want that, go to Ask Jacksepticeye. Yeah, so I'm not a whale biologist, so I don't know any of this. But here's Gargantuan, as many people in the forums have been calling him. Another thing, lava eyes are in the game. They look pretty darn sweet, as you'll probably agree. They look really damn cool. And also, lava boomerangs are in the game, and these are all, as you can imagine, going to be in the inactive lava biome. Oh, sorry about my dogs. But these look really damn cool. I don't know if you can pick them up. Oh, you can. Now let's put this in our toolbar so we can actually have a closer look at him. There he is. He looks really damn cool. So, yeah, I'm really happy with them. They look really damn sweet. And then, hello, Aya. he gave me something really, really interesting, which I think a lot of you are going to find absolutely fascinating. So I'm gonna cut the video here, and I'm gonna be back in a second, and you'll see what I mean. And I have now returned with a little bit more Subnautica news. So basically, they have started development of a rocket. Now you can find this on Trello. I'll leave the link in the description. This was given to me by Cyberlele 2002, so thank you again for this. Basically, they're making a rocket. So I'm going to read through the stuff that they're doing. There's actually an image and I'll show you that at the end. So, platform buildable using standard constructor. So the constructor that we currently use to make the Seamoth and Cyclops, I'm guessing will be the same as we use to make the platform. Or it could be the constructor that we have in our hands. I'm kind of confused because that's the vehicle construction bay or something. They've changed it all, so, you know. Platform falls down, then floats. So use the same logic the escape pod uses to make it float and stay upright. So they're going to use the same coding effectively to keep the platform upright as they do to keep the escape pod upright, which is fine. You can build multiple platforms, and each platform needs to save/load its individual states. Should suffice to, I have no idea what any of this means. Basically, it means that once you personalize a certain platform, it will save what it has on it and keep it there for the rest of the game. Platform climbable, built-in constructor usable. Constructor menu shows 4 menu items. Ladder, stage 1, boosters, stage 2, engine, stage 3, cockpit. And constructor drones come up when menu is showing. So, similarly to the vehicle construction bay, these little drone things will come up when you're selecting from an inbuilt constructor on this platform. So first thing you can build is a ladder, which is probably useful for getting into the rocket. Then it starts with stage 1. Now I'm guessing each of these will get harder and harder to make. So you'll have to get more and more resources from deeper and deeper down places with more and more violent creatures. I think that's just how they're going to do it. So stage 1 is boosters, so that's just going to be the engines. That's stage 2. It's going to be the bit that makes you go up, effectively. The engine is what's going to power the boosters. And then stage 3 is the cockpit. I'm guessing when all of that is done, you will be able to actually get into it. So, ladder is buildable, you can attach it to the platform, and then you can climb it. I'm imagining that the climbing is for getting into it so you can fly away. Stage 1 boosters are buildable, but they have no functionality apart from when they're on it. I'm guessing is what that means. Stage 2 engines are buildable, no functionality, requires energy core to build. Energy core buildable in standard fabricator. Energy core requires precursor ingredients. So, to get stage 2, we're going to have to go and meet the precursors, is what this is kind of suggesting to me, which is awesome. Sorry about the Steam notifications, by the way, it's not you, it's me. If you can hear them. Stage 3 cockpit also has buildable, and it's got an interior, and you can enter and exit the rocket by using the ladder. It can bring up a menu to launch the rocket, and probably needs confirmation dialogue, so there's going to be a bit of story behind you launching and when you can launch it. So there'll be a blast-off sequence. Skybox fades from regular sky to space sky, and then you win. And then, alternative ending. Now, I have no idea what it means by alternative ending, but does that mean there's like a story tree? Does that mean if you do one thing, you get a certain ending, and if you do another, you get an alternative ending? Is it like that? I'm not really sure. So effectively, the way you win the game is by taking off in a rocket, from what I see here. So there's none of this people coming to pick you up, unless that is the alternative ending. But the main ending that seems to be going for is you building a rocket from the planet and taking off. However, this is the image that's provided with this Trello card. So it shows, it's a very rough drawing, as you can see, of the platforms floating on the water. There's the guy, us, controlling the constructor bots from down here. The rocket will be built there. Obviously, it won't look so phallic, but it will certainly look like that. I hope it doesn't look like that, actually. There'll be a ladder you can get onto, and then a boarding thing, and you'll have to lie like that, obviously, because that's how you lie in spaceships. And then there's the computer screen up there, which I'm guessing you'll be able to control things by. I'm not really sure what L1, 2, 3, and 4 is. I'm guessing that's like different points of building. So that's the interior. Very, very rough design, as you can tell. That's obviously not what the interior is going to look like in the end, but that is kind of just a rough idea of what's going to happen in the upper bit of the rocket. So this bit, it's kind of, because it says that you take off from the surface, yet this thing specifies that down here, 500 meters is the deep Grand Reef, 900 I think that is the Lost River, and 7,000, no, God, 1,500, I'm guessing that is, not 7,000, is the lava zone. I'm guessing this means that for stage 1, you have to go to the Deep Grand Reef, which is not too difficult to get the ingredients. Stage 2, you have to go to the Lost River, which, if you need the precursor ingredients for, I'm not sure if the precursors are going to be in the Lost River, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Or maybe I'm completely misunderstanding this and this isn't actually part of this at all. It could just be this rocket bit here. But they've certainly got it here. You see this? They've got a square, like they have here, and then X2, and this is X2 as well. So stage 2 engines, maybe they can get that from the Lost River. And then the cockpit, they have to actually go down to the lava zone, which could present the end game, meeting the Sea Emperor, meeting the Sea Dragons, meeting the juvenile Sea Emperors, meeting the precursors, and all that juicy stuff. And then eventually taking off. That's my kind of... That's how I envision it. I don't know if that's how you guys will envision it, but please tell me in the comments below. I'd really like to see how you guys are perceiving all of this. It's really, really interesting stuff. And it's basically given us an idea of how the game will actually end, which is really, really cool. So... please, if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends. If you're feeling really generous, subscribe to Awesomecrunch today. But until next one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ra, my friends.